What is your real surname?
It's Abu Sama.
That's
it
wolf.
means Father Forgiveness, actually.
It means wolf, of course.
Yeah. Wolf, yeah, that was another story to that.
The Todd Shapiro Show.
You know, I had the last interview ever with Scott Weiland, rock star of Stone Temple Pilots.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we had him on the air, and he died a day and a half later.
Overdose, no?
What's that?
What was it? Overdose? What was it?
Yeah, he died of an overdose.
Yeah.
We had him on the last show of all. So like, I went on CTV News to talk about it and stuff. Yeah, so
Let's not
I've been
hope
in that
at all.
situation, so I don't want to be there again.
Yeah, you should tell your guests before you know about your history. I mean, can I leave now?
Yeah, man.
No, I got you now forever.
Carl, it's really been nice to know you.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Before he went, I wanted to ask him what he was going to wear for Halloween.
I know, right?
I had that written. That was the one question I had. Imagine Jerome showing up like if they 6'9". Imagine a 6'9" NBA or former NBA showing up. You know, all
As
these
a
little kids
clown or
coming.
whatever.
Yeah, all the creepy clowns.
Creepy clowns. Yo, those are everywhere. I got the crazy creepy clown app. Do you know that?
There's already an app?
There's an app that exists where it tells you where the last clown was seen.
Oh, it's like Waze, but for creepy clowns.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon.
No, but yo, that's serious, man. I don't know. I've been watching some of the YouTube creepy clown scares.
Yeah, it's Jack. Have you seen any of Jack Berkovits, Karl Wolf hanging out? Have you seen any like that? Have you heard about this creepy clown craze going on?
I'm not that creepy, and yes, I have.
Okay.
Absolutely. And no one recognizes me because I put on a big nose.
It's just. By
the way, I think Lebanese have the same size nose as all.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
That's hilarious.
We're cousins, you know that.
Yeah,
we're cousins. We're all Semites.
I don't know that. How does that work?
Because we all come from the same son
Area?
of Noah. Noah had 3 sons: Sem, Ham, and Japhet. Sem is the father of the Jews and the Middle Easterners, all the Arabs, all the Lebanese and Jordanians
Phoenicians or whatever.
So why can't we all get along?
Because we're family.
Good point.
Wait till your son grows older.
And we're sharing the same area.
That is the greatest answer I have ever heard in my life.
That's a great answer.
That's
a nice answer, actually.
That is the great, because we're family.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Exactly.
And even some would say if we were friends, we wouldn't get along then either. It's a crazy world, right?
Well, we are neighbors.
Yeah,
we're all neighbors.
That's another reason.
So,
Yeah, we're just neighbors.
yeah.
That sliver is ours. That sliver is ours.
Yeah, you get along with your neighbor, not you, Carl, but in general, like speaking
Have
of
you ever
public.
been to Lebanon?
Exactly, no.
No, I haven't been.
You gotta go.
Yeah,
you gotta go.
Yeah.
It is absolutely.
I've heard I've never been to Israel, but I heard it's kind of the same. Like the beaches are so
beaches.
beautiful.
Oh, Lebanon was the
and
most
food
gorgeous
and-
country in the world until this entire thing caved in.
Yeah.
Well, it was the greatest people, greatest country, greatest food, greatest everything.
You know
Wow.
what's funny is my dad would tell me about actually Jewish Lebanese friends that he used to have when he was in school.
Right.
But now none of the Jews are there anymore.
They're gone.
They're gone. Yeah. But he would and they're Lebanese though. They're like Lebanese Jews.
Absolutely.
And now it's a thing of the past.
Yeah, there are
completely.
Lebanese of all faiths, you know, and they are Lebanese, and they act like Lebanese. I know quite a few of them.
Yes.
They are Lebanese. I mean, if they didn't tell you they were Jewish, you'd think it's just another big nose.
How do we make how do we make everybody like Canada?
I know, we're so lucky, man.
One of the things we got to do, and this is the only thing about Trump that I can support, is that it should be done reasonably time-wise. In other words, you can't look what's happening to Germany, look what happened to France. All migration, regardless of from where or who or what, has to be done orderly. Now, I wake up every morning and I say, wow, I'm so lucky I was born and I'm here in Canada. And it's not fair that someone who was born elsewhere shouldn't have the benefits that Canada bestows on its people. It's just not fair. But I'm lucky, and so be it. I don't want to take that away from anybody else. But in order to maintain this, it's got to be done in an orderly fashion. If you went from 35 million people to 135 million people, you wouldn't have Canada anymore.
True.
It's got to be done orderly. I don't know if that means 10%, 20%, 30%. There are people out there who do know those answers.
What are the percentage of the refugees they're bringing in, though? Do
Canada?
we know? Yeah.
Well, we're fast growing.
We are.
We are very fast growing. I think it's over 1 million people a year. Only 25,000 refugees in the last 6 months since Justin Trudeau came into power and had the program. And by the way, that's a huge number compared to the United States.
Well, that was just
That's true, of
you're
course.
talking Syrian refugees.
Right.
That number.
Right.
I mean, there are
Right.
other refugees from other
there's,
nations.
there's an annual refugee number,
Yeah.
but our country's not growing. It's not growing from refugees. It's growing from tremendously good immigration.
Immigration, yeah, absolutely.
Tremendously good immigration. India, China, Eastern Europe, Western Europe. I mean, they're coming from all Africa. We're getting people from everywhere, which is
Thank God for that.
We were
Eastern
immigrants.
Europe,
I mean,
all the
my
Eastern
parents were
Europe,
immigrants.
Eastern European ladies. I mean, that's been a great decision. Whatever government official. That was a very smart decision. No.
Exactly. Do they have siblings though?
Did she ever tell you what she had to do to get that?
My who?
Your wife.
She got lucky. She was a gymnast.
Somebody got lucky.
No, she was on the Canadian gymnast team. Like,
are you serious?
expedited. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
My wife won worlds. Like, yeah. She was. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
yeah,
My parents
yeah.
came immigrated. Yeah,
It expedited. I mean, it didn't expedite for her parents, but it helped once she was here.
Exactly.
I mean, she was that good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'd hope my kid gets all her genes.
Yeah.
like all. I mean, like maybe my penis one day, but like all her genes. Like all her genes. You know.
What did you just say?
I hope that my
Don't
kid.
repeat. What?
You asked me what I just said.
That was like an exclamation mark type of question.
It wasn't a question.
No, and please, no exaggeration, okay? Let's not talk about small stuff.
you want to.
It's
You
all
want
small stuff.
You want to hear something nice? I'll tell you something nice, and how forward-thinking my brain always works. And this is like a legitimate thought of mine.
Okay.
This is exactly how Todd Shapiro thinks.
Is this on tape? I want to hear this.
This is, we document it. Goes on
Okay.
iTunes, the
I wanna hear a
ToddShapiroShow.com.
Todd
Download it.
Shapiro
Charting high on iTunes all the
Original
time.
thought from TS.
This is original thought. I have a lot of original thoughts, by the way. This is why I'm going to flourish in so many different areas.
So humble.
One of them being. I want a Baratista. I'm going to flourish. I'm going to flourish in being a server later.
It's called a barista.
Whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know it. Okay. That's why I didn't get the job. Okay. At least I have an excuse now.
You were decaffeinated.
No, too much energy actually. I annoyed them. So enough coffee, but that's all we serve here. Anyway, when my wife was pregnant. This is the way I think, Karl Wolf.
Yeah.
This is the way Jack, I think like you. Because I love everybody the same and I look at all of us as equals. I don't care.
My wife told me not to do that. Not to love everyone the same.
No, I look at we're all the same. Because at the end of the day, you know why I know we're the same? Because we all pee and poo. We all pee and poo. And we all, some stand, some sit. I don't care. Some wipe twice. Some use wet wipes. I don't care. We all pee and poo. And I'm serious, man. I don't care if you're a billionaire.
Right.
I don't care if you're a famous rock star. Yeah.
No, but we don't all pee and poo into the same urinal or toilet.
Dude, we gotta eat.
Some of us have gold toilets.
Yeah, but does that matter?
Yeah, it blends better with the colors.
Some say you have more success, which is why a company like Squatty Potty is doing well when you just go in the woods because you have to crouch and that gets everything going better. They weren't even supposed to sit when you did that kind of thing. But anyway, I used to say to people, and I used to think that maybe I didn't want it to ever sound offensive. I actually meant this in a very good, harmless way. They would ask, "What's the sex of your baby?" Oh my God, Irina, what's the sex of your baby? What is in there? You've seen the ultrasound, right? Oh my God, isn't that amazing? You can see the ultrasound like 3 times until we didn't know the sex of the baby. We would cover them. We don't want to see. We don't want to see. So, and my answer to people was,
Who cares?
Not who cares. We are letting the baby decide.
Oh, no, it's been predetermined. That's not for...
No.
What
No,
you're
it
saying
hasn't
is,
now.
as long as it's a healthy baby, who the F cares?
No, because you know what?
Oh, gotcha.
I could have, which I do now have, a beautiful boy, and one day my beautiful boy can say, I want to be a beautiful lady.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to say, whatever makes you happy,
Good
son,
point.
daughter now, because I
That's
love
exactly
you.
what you really think you're going to say that?
100% I
Yeah,
will.
you're like the guy who's never been tested. He knows exactly what the answers are going to be when that strike comes down.
Jack,
from the, yeah, right. That's what you're gonna
happiness
say.
is
I have
the most important thing.
Happiness?
Half penis.
Happiness
The
is the
real
most
truth.
important thing. Let me explain something to you. You know the answers until the test comes your way.
Why are you on me today so much?
I'm not on you.
No, I'm getting
not on
defensive.
You. I love you.
No,
I
you're not.
love you.
No, but you know what?
Trying to help you.
Well, he is my mentor, and I love Jack. And you're
Ex-mentor as of today at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. No, but no.
That hits home,
Todd.
anyways. I'll tell you a quick story.
Todd,
About
Yeah.
No. We all know I know that I can hit.
I was actually a girl when I was born.
Yeah.
I knew that voice was
That
a girl's.
voice.
That voice. Yeah. Well, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
There is no way that we can predict what our reaction will be to a situation wherein we are challenged to the utmost. The gender of your child, when that changes, is not something the first time you hear about it that you're going to say, okay, sure, sweetie, nope, let's throw out your clothing and we'll get you a whole new set of clothing. That's not the way normal people react. And if you are going to react that way, you're one hell of an incredible human being.
I am. No, I am.
I don't know.
You know why? But I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why I know I would act this way. Because, and it sounds so like a terrible analogy. This sounds like a terrible analogy, and I bet you can relate to me, Karl Wolf.
I can relate. I've got a story. I'm beyond
yeah,
me.
No, but even you,
right?
Because I've always had a look to me. Okay, long hair. Where I'm 43 years old, I have a ponytail. Right. You know how many fucking businessmen look at me, Jack? And you never looked at me this way. But you know how many you looked at me for my intelligence, for our conversation.
But the minute you leave, I laugh.
Well, that's fair. But you know how many guys I've lost deals simply because I look like a douchebag?
No, we're beyond that. The world is beyond that.
No, Jack.
He's kind of
an hour ago. These lovely ladies who are of Asian descent were in here and talking about how they're judged and they're looked, and they created a TV series about that. And you preach,
and that's proof that they're not judged. And the fact that you're behind that might prove that you're not judged. And behind that, a Lebanese immigrant to this country does what he does. That and the fact that all I'm
saying is this: I don't judge anyone. I would never judge my son's decision to make any decision he wants. I was just reiterating.
That's different because that's out of the norm. That's not your typical everyday decision. Like, what should I have for dinner,
Jack?
That's just a different. It's surgery.
We're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Psychological issues.
I know there's a process, and I know that typically, on if we're going to get into the medical stuff, there's a lot of counseling you go through first. There's a lot of.
It's not something you want to pay for or deal with. No. I mean,
in this a lot of this government doesn't. There's a lot of reimbursement. I don't know if reimbursement's a term, but you don't have to be part of Medicare. Like
let me tell you a couple of things. Yes, of course. My cousin, for the longest time, a girl cousin, we've only had one cousin from my dad's side. So my uncle's daughter, recently, maybe 3 years ago, decided to be a boy, and so got surgery on her breast, everything. So it was a whole shock for the family. You can imagine Middle Eastern parents, et cetera, et cetera. Her dad unfortunately passed away last year in Lebanon and whatnot. So it was disaster. And I think he was kind of depressed from this, and he didn't know she hid it from him the whole time. And now she hates being called, a her. So but I've known her my whole life as a her, and now she's a boy, right? He's a boy. But her mom, and all of us, my parents included, and my mom's 60, my dad's 69, you know what I mean? And they've accepted it so much. So I think you've got a point. I think these days it's not that it's accepted, it's that love trumps all, and when you love the person, you start to kind of accept it really like I tell my mom, you don't mind calling him by Chris instead of Christian? That's her name, Christian, and they call her Chris now, and she's like, I don't care, I love her. I mean, as long as he's happy. And she says he's happy.
Yeah, but that's
like,
eventually.
Wow, Mom.
No, Jack, I'm ahead of that.
No, you're not.
I think the times are changing.
No, you're not.
I think you're both right, by the way.
You should not be
points.
Tested. Don't be tested. Let's hope that he's
tested. I want to be tested.
Let's hope
that he lives a fulfilling.
Is what he's supposed to be, and that's it. But I mean, listen. As a man of faith, I have certain forebodings about gay marriage and gay activity.
Really?
I'm not. Well, let me just tell the story.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I just have a hard time wondering what it's all about. Okay, confused by it. And over the years, I've dramatically swung to the point where it's okay. It's fine.
You're in one now. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
him and Corey Joseph kissing.
My sister made a grandchild's bar mitzvah in Israel, and I was invited. And before I get to the plane, somebody calls me from the family and said, "We need to tell you something, that her superstar son, the doctor, is going to be at this bar mitzvah with his boy lover." That was a hard 13-hour flight. How am I going to react?
How long ago was this?
This is last year.
Okay.
How am I going to react to my nephew, whom I adore, and find out now that he's never going to have children through natural birth, and he's not going to? And this is hard for me. Anyways, I got there, and nothing changed. I love him more than I've ever loved him before. I've totally accepted it. I thought it would be harder for me, but I believe that I was able to do that because he's not my son. He's my nephew.
Because he had a 13-hour flight. It was Florida.
And I don't drink, but on that flight I did drink. So yeah, we are eventually going to accept everything, but it's not an easy transition. These are not things that we
I can tell you wholeheartedly, I would not care for a second. I would just want, like I want everyone I know in my life, from my good mentor Jack Berkovits at Jewelcrafters.com to Karl Wolf to Bilal, even Bilal.
Bilal's here.
All I want people is to be happy, and you know why? Because, and I go through days where I'm not happy, and then I look to my family and I realize how happy I am, and I go through days where I'm stressed about money, and maybe I realize I'm just being too superficial and I shouldn't worry so much about my future, just live in the moment. And when I find that happiness, because not convince, that's a bad word. When I recognize that I actually have a ton of happiness, that putting things in perspective, like we were doing earlier with what people go through in this fucking world and how shit it actually is for some.
Exactly.
I love those moments, and I actually take those in. Maybe I could have more of them. I think we could all maybe try and find ways to have more of them. And when we do find those ways to have more of them, when we're happy, it's so simple, the formula. Everybody gets along.
It's so nice.
And it doesn't matter. No, but it can't. I'm being utopian right now. I'm being idealistic.
Right.
But it can be this way. Look at the beautiful stories, Jack, that you just shared about the old Lebanon. And Karl's family, who had Jewish Lebanese friends.
Yeah.
My grandmother was a German Jew who like was friends with Nazis, but had to leave obviously because those Nazis were then going to kill her.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why she left is because those Nazis helped get her family out of there.
But you know what, man?
Yeah.
I hate to break this whole thing.
Yeah. Please do.
The reality is not everybody's on that level. Not everyone's on that spiritual vibe and connection. You've got people here. We're lucky to be here. Believe me. I've known people. I've known family members. I've known friends that are so jaded, racist, whatever you want to call it. And it makes me sick. And I don't think like them.
That's me when the mic shuts off.
Yeah. And I don't think like them. And I wonder how come not everyone thinks like me. So the fact that we're talking right now.
Because it starts from birth and it's cultural, and our racism doesn't come from things that we pick up. Our racism comes from what we learned at home and from friends, and then it takes a lot to get that out of our
I'm going to
system.
get deep now, but isn't this why sometimes religion can be dangerous?
Absolutely.
Not if it's real religion. There's no religion out there that's bad. Every religion has the golden rule: do not do unto others what you would not have them do unto you. Right. And the question is, in order for me to protect...
So how did it become perverted?
Perversion exists. So there's always someone who's going to take it the other extreme. Islam is a very peaceful religion, except for the crazies.
Yeah.
You know, every religion has its crazies.
Crusades, I mean,
you know,
it's the same thing.
Now, I could get into the difference between Judaism and other religions,
right.
but I'm not going to get into that right now. But Judaism does have one element that most religions don't have, and we have those rabbis who, over the years, have interpreted the actual writings of the Bible. No other religion has that. So when it says in our Bible, an eye for an eye, because it says that in our Bible, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
Doesn't the Quran say the same thing?
It does. That's exactly my point. The Quran says an eye for an eye. He took out my eye, you take out his eye. Judaism says compensation. How do we know that? Because the rabbis have interpreted to mean it means compensation. So the eye of a surgeon who's 40 years old is worth $1 billion. The eye of a 95-year-old blind man is worth $1. So compensation is what an eye for an eye means in Judaism. If the Quran would have had the disciples who interpreted that way, because there's no way that the prophet said an eye for an eye and he meant kill everybody.
Anything, yeah. Just revenge on, they did this to me, so I'm doing it to someone else kind of thing. It's interesting. Look, I think religions we should take the common denominator, which is all peace and loving, because there's a lot of pee. No, but there's a lot of common great things happening in each religion, and it's great if we can just stick to those common things. But for some reason, like I said, there are certain people out there that just pervert that, and it's their personality, man. It's just the way it is, and it's hard to, man. I'm telling you, best friends, and I listen to them, and I said, I'm not much of a talker. I'm a listener, but I've got some wisdom. I choose my time, but I listen, and I notice, I'm like, and I keep on thinking, I'm not like you. Why am I not like you? And how come you're so hateful towards certain people? And that doesn't connect with me, So that's my 2 cents.
Karl did a real nice thing. He was a big part of We Day.
Absolutely.
last week. Tell us about We Day.
I love We Day, man. It's like a big concert at the ACC or wherever you go around across the country. Actually, they're expanding around the world right now, and it brings 20 plus artists together, speakers, big astronauts, all that stuff to inspire young kids in high schools and schools actually who are actually making a difference in their community globally, locally. And it's incredible. I mean, the kids inspire us even more. That like when I was 13, I wasn't, building a lemonade stand to help save people in, Asia somewhere. It's crazy. So it's really inspiring. Great to be a part of. I've been an ambassador for Free the Children for 4 years now. This is my 11th We Day. I'm actually going to do We Day at Vancouver, and then on the 3rd of November.
Fantastic. Yeah. How many acts were there? Like,
Jason Derulo, Macklemore, Karl Wolf.
Yeah. How's Macklemore? Is he a good dude?
Man, they just walk by me, man. These guys, man. You know what's funny, man? And I just one thing I'm gonna bitch about. That's it.
Get it out.
Just one thing.
Real.
Okay. I'm an artist. I'm successful out there. I'm doing good things. But when I go out, man, when I'm on stage at We Day or I'm not on stage on We Day, I would think that I'm the same guy. Like I can go out there, preach some cool stuff and just be really sweet with everybody and just understand that peace and love, that whole mantra. But then get off stage and I'm still kind of that same guy. I notice a lot of artists or whatnot, they come out, not a lot, but some, they would go on there and they just, oh my God, I love, and it's all about love and peace. And then they get off and they just walk by you with their noses up. I'm like, at what point did you not become a humanitarian? At what point did it change? That the public didn't give you all this love and you weren't on the spotlight? That bothers me.
Well, that's the darkest thing about having entertainers as mentors, is that there are some who just flip it on.
Yeah.
And then there are those who are the same person when it's on and when it's off. And to be honest, sorry, I relate it back to the program here. That's why I love this show, and I love like Come On Fred in the morning here, do it on Canada Laughs. There's not a lot of radio programs, and this is sort of the SiriusXM way, and it kind of, I guess it leads into a podcast way where you don't necessarily have to have an in and an out. You kind of just have to be real people. And then you get real conversations around that. Today we delved into religion. We delved into how people can, do charitable work. But really, do they mean that charitable work? Are they charitable human beings? Are they doing it because, there's a per diem for them to get there? There's a lot of different tangibles. And the only thing I would caution a lot of people is be careful who you do choose as your mentors. You want real mentors. I got a guy like Jack Burvey. He's going to be making fun of me all day long. But I also know he's got my back.
He's a great guy.
He's not just a guy saying things to me and then walking away and then saying things to other people because he thinks they're motivational.
Trying to make you a better person. And it's not easy because you're so good.
Look at that.
By the way, Karl, what is your real surname?
It's Abu Samah.
That's
it
wolf.
It means father forgiveness, actually.
It means wolf, of course.
Yeah. Wolf. Yeah, that was another story to that.
Karl, tell us about, because we have a musician coming up here in a moment named Shay Dupuis.
Nice. Shay Dupuis.
Yeah. Well, I'll go find out. Actually, say her last name right
Dupuis.
now.
Okay.
Real quick. And anyway, I should know, but I don't.
Right.
Tell us again about, because you're like, I mean, you're doing so well again, and it's so nice to see what's going on.
It's great, man. I mean, we got the single Amateur at Love featuring Cardinal Official. It's currently number 15 in the country. We're climbing. It's been 4 or 5 months with the same single. So started off very slow. Now everybody's loving the record. It's playing on radio everywhere. I'm blessed, man. We just got a call from 2 labels in the States and the UK. They want to sign it. So, we're growing I'm back. I'm doing a comeback. I'm back.
It's amazing. It must feel so great.
It feels great, man. I've been in the business, 10 years, and since Africa. Was it 10? Yeah, it's been about, let's say, 10 years since Africa came out.
My first big single. It's been 10 years.
I think so. That
blows my mind.
Yeah. And that was my first success. We went quadruple platinum with that. I've had platinum and gold records ever since, but I took a bit of a break in the past 2-3 years, and now I'm.
When you tried the Bay Band and that didn't really, you tried a few different projects, but it's a product of perseverance and dedication and passion.
Some things worked. I went on to co-write the Hula Hoop record by Omni, and that sold, like over millions of singles around the world and 150 million streams. It's definitely good for the bank account,
nice.
And good for I signed a deal with BMG LA, so I'm signed to Zach Katz, who's the president. He used to run Beluga Heights, which had artists like Sean Kingston and Jason Derulo. So, I'm connected now in the U.S. industry a little bit, and I'm proving myself. And It could be because I'm Lebanese and whatever. It's taking a little time, but I don't. Who cares, right? Just make beautiful music and people will notice, man. Be a good person, and one day you'll have your chance. I guess.
I still think it's that neck tattoo.
It's probably that neck tattoo. Yeah. And the shaved head.
He's got a tattoo of wolf on his arm.
I do. You didn't see the neck one?
He's got the best tattoo. I mean, this guy.
This is you before the beard. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I've been a big fan of Carl's.
The only thing missing in Carl's life,
a
good jeweler.
Hey!
Look at what he's wearing.
I agree. You know what? I want a bigger look. I want something amazing on my I want a nice chain, like an emblem with.
Let me make it for you.
Okay, let's do it.
Let me make it for you.
Seriously.
Okay.
Okay, but something thick. I don't want this.
How long?
A little longer than this.
Yeah, so that's about 24. I'd say you need about 30 inches.
Okay.
And I'd say you need 3-dimensional, like a box thing, like you got now, but bigger, or you want just a flat.
No, I don't mind the flat. I like this. I like this. I like
You
this
like
kind
this
of
cut?
Yeah, this cut.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But bigger. You want bigger.
I want it big. I want it like
a bike clock.
I want it not
Or
show
bike
off. I
chain,
just
I
want
mean.
it blingy, so when I'm on stage, it's shining.
People can see it.
So it should be diamond cut. You want 10 carat, 14, or 18?
This is a 10 carat, I believe. So I don't know.
It's good enough. You don't need more than 10.
Okay, fine. 10.
10 carat.
Yeah.
Why don't
Let's go 10.
could you melt that one down and turn it into a new one? Is that a dumb way to think?
That'll be a third of it, maybe, or a quarter of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
good. No, keep that one.
We'll keep it.
Okay, can I have that one? Okay.
Yeah, you mooch. You're a mooch. And remember, I'm your buddy.
Yeah.
So what you mooch is mine.
You know, I was just reading about, my wife sent me a thing on a lot of like sort of successful people and how they become millionaires.
Right.
And there's sort of like these, I don't normally read this stuff, but there's kind of like steps and rules that you have. And one of them is stand next to the smartest person in the room. So I'm your mooch and you're the smartest person
You
in the
just
room.
insulted everybody here, and I guarantee you they're all equally smart. You just have a bigger mouth than everybody.
No, I was saying that you're the smartest person in the room.
I'm going to give Carl an incredible
Okay,
deal on
good.
the condition that you
Wow.
tell everybody.
Absolutely.
Of course,
Done deal.
dude. He shares
Can't
his
wait.
social media. Where can everyone find you? And you're still going to be here for the last part of the show.
Yeah,
but
everything for me is at Karl Wolf, so KarlWolf, S at the end. So Karl Wolf's on Twitter, on Instagram, on Snapchat, whatever. And
we
we've got
to just roll that other Karl Wolf.
I know, man. Someone has Karl Wolf without the S. That was on Twitter and Instagram, and they want $15,000. I'm like,
You
get
have
out.
email?
I'd rather start a
You have
necklace.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
Okay,
find
you
it
guys
on your
did.
website.
Jack Berkovits, I'm sure you got to run, unless you want to watch the live performance. Up to you.
You're throwing me out again.
No.
Because it's the story of my life, buddy. Who does that to a mentor?
The Todd Shapiro Show. Turn up your speakers, especially if you're over 65. SiriusXM 168, Canada Laughs.